Alright guys, last night this was lighting up pretty weird, and it's been doing this for the time that I've been living here. At night it does this flickering. Now I don't understand it, why. Right now I don't see any flickering, maybe because it's the daytime. But I never see it. I wonder why that is. I walk this hallway. At night, it's a whole different ballgame. It flickers, but now, no. Weird. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about. No ghost, poltergeist.
Cash there can earn nearly 10 times the national average rate. If your workouts did work like Wealthfront, you'd get nearly 10 times the results from each rep. 10 times the...
Alright guys, so I'm back. I wanted to talk about another movie I was watching besides Seven Nights of Darkness, which I think I talked about earlier. It was basically like an MTV, it's like an MTV reality show but with scary hauntings at this old psych ward asylum. So I watched that movie. I liked it. It was pretty good. Good storyline. There was a guy named Carter, and who had really, I think I said no one survived? Correction, Carter survived. And that's because the sequel, which I'm going to talk about now, is called The Devil's Toy Box, which is a sequel. And I don't know if it was necessarily needed for this sequel, or maybe this was just wasn't a sequel for it, but it was okay. Carter coming back seemed, he seemed out of it. But unfortunately, we're going to find out is that Carter has been entranced by this demon or monster called Belethel, a female monster, I guess. And one of the characters in there who is a exorcist, which I think he did pretty good. He was an important part. I think his role was short after a while, but it was important. So to watch this movie, would I recommend to watch the Devil's Toy Box? I think so. Was it worth to watch though at the end? It was brutal. I think it has to be a little brutal, I have to say. It was good, but brutal. I would definitely, do love the series though. I do, don't get me wrong, I love the series. But overall, it's a great, these two movies together. Do they balance well with each other? No. I think the second one didn't do too well as the first one. Carter's a great character. Maybe bring him back in the third one and bring that exorcist character. And Brooke, who was in the first one also. So these are characters I'm mentioning because they have brought chemistry to the movie. Again, the second one, I mean, I didn't even bring the synopsis of this new one. Basically, in the Devil's Box, the Devil's Toy Box, the doll's back from the original one. I don't want to give too much away. And the doll is still in that house. And they actually even give more history behind that, where they would give lobotomies in its horrible, horrible place, and they murdered a lot of the psych ward patients. And that's told in that second one. Also, there's a demon in this one, so this time it's not for prizes or money, but it's to come back and try to rescue those people, those first contestants that didn't make it. And yeah, and it's kind of weird segments going on. Again, it's found footage horror. It has more cameras this time, more relationships, and more obscurities, but it was okay. I mean, maybe it's not my most favorite sequels, but it was okay. So yeah, I don't know if I would recommend watching the second one if you watched the first one. Me personally, I like this. I'd like to continue it on. So if they made a third one, I'd go for it. I like what they're going with the franchise. So thumbs up for that. My other found footage horror that I've seen this week, of my birthday weekend, by the way, since it's my birthday weekend, I just watched, I just took a snapshot of it, so just bear with me here. This one's called The Investigation, a haunting into Sherwood. So this is the guys that had made those other three I recommended. So the other three that I'm talking about was the House in Sherwood, the Glamera Tapes, and the Mansfield Ghost. No, sorry, not the Glamera Tapes, correction. The House on Mansfield Street, the Mansfield Ghost, and the House in Sherwood. So that director, he's back in that, and he's made this fourth movie that I found out. So it's called, again, The Investigation, a Haunting in Sherwood. This one is pretty interesting the blurb on Tubi, I believe is, or no, here it is, an overview. While investigating noises coming from a house in Sherwood, private investigator Gareth Morvis hacks into the security system and records everything that happens there. So he's actually trying to private investigate a fraud scam. So he goes into this person's house and hacks their whole computer system. I mean, their computer, their cameras, you name it. And then things get weird because as he's spying on this guy, he's trying to see if he's false. Things go around the house that are just weird, and there are two cats in the film too, so it makes it more interesting. I like this play on things. It's a different type of found footage where they're using the phones and your cameras, your CC cameras. Well done story again. I have to always say I love this guy who keeps making these movies. The guy who keeps making these movies is great. Daniel Mansfield, I know, is in the movie. He's always in it. So it's a great movie. The director, Richard Mansfield, again, made a fourth movie I like. So I like all of Richard Mansfield's movies. I cannot complain. Those are the movies that I love right now for found footage. And what a treat that was. So I'm going to give this movie a 2 thumbs up also. I think you guys should go check it out. It's kind of corny, but good corny because it's found footage. And of course, it has a good storyline. I think that they use the use of footage and the way they use the camera and the hauntings is fantastic. Even the ending leaves you like gasping. So definitely watch that as well. All right. Alright guys, so I'm back again. I am just having some tea this morning. It is my birthday. Today is my birthday. I'm gonna go we're gonna go for a little walk, me and my wife. We're gonna drive, get her yummy coffee that she loves to get. And yeah, I just woke up picked up my phone, started watching. I did what you guys call on the internet, death scrolling or doom scrolling, whatever you call it. And yeah, and it's funny how doom scrolling, it doesn't sound like a thing to me about doom, anything like that. I think of the word doom as Dr. Doom and Indiana Jones and the Lost, what is it? Is it the Doom? Something with Indiana Jones and Doom? I don't know. Anyhow, I saw a video game that a live person is still right now. He's live actually on TikTok. I'm gonna show you the phone. Rage Jordan. I don't know if you can see if it's in focus. It's called Phantasma. Wait, I'll tell you what it is. It is called, I'm so bad that I said this 1,000 times and I still don't know the name. It is called Phantasmo. It's called, wow, this is taking me a while. Oh, lost it. Phasmophobia. That's what this is called. So basically, this is a game about ghost hunting, and there's some. I've never played it. I've only watched it here on live stream and seen clips on it, and watched streamers do this. It looks like an interesting game where you find out there are 24 different kind of ghosts, and your job is as a ghost hunter, and you get money for identifying the ghost. And there are ways they give you tools. So they give you an EMF meter. They give you some sage, burn sticks, candles. They give you ideas, and then they tell you what these ghosts do when they're hunting, because ghosts will hunt you. So that's the scary part. So it's kind of an interesting prospect. I think the creator of this game is 24 years old. So anyway, I don't know if I'll play this game. I don't have time sometimes for games, but I do get curious. So you might catch me in some of my videos playing this game, showing you more about Phasmophobia. It's got an interesting thing. It sounds like a movie type thing for me, like found footage stuff. What caught me was that in the beginning of the game, they had a guy with a camera. So he's using his camcorder. And it had the green, that famous green screen, of night vision. So anyhow, that is so far. I'm talking about Phasmophobia right now on my birthday. Miracle. Hi guys. Testing. Saying I'm not putting arsenic in here. I'm just filming.
I already did that.
What?
No.
You're an asshole. I just got the joke. Alright guys, so this is what I'm having. Apple cake with ice cream. While I'm watching this movie. I think the movie's called, what was it called? It's happening right now. While I'm watching, I might as well tell you what it is. It is called Always Watching a Marble Hornet Story. So I think it's not the greatest found footage, but I'll tell you more later. Okay guys, so I just saw The Awakening, a Marble Hornet story, I guess. It's kind of like a spin-off series from YouTube from 2009, where it has like the Slender Man mythos. I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole. I definitely just checked on Wikipedia. That's all that information I'm giving you is from Wikipedia. Yeah, but it was not my most. I don't like this found footage style. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just too directed. It didn't have really like a homemade found footage. I don't necessarily hate the whole movie. They had a famous actress, of course, the one that plays Sarah in this film. So let me just give you a quick synopsis. This movie, the Always Watching the Hornets, the Hornets, Maple Hornets story. Basically, is about. It starts off with the film where there's a person running, and the person's running away from somebody, and it's like in the camera, and it's basically a man with no face. And then it ends in a horrible, and it's horrible for the man. He chases someone down and kills them. So then the story goes on to three people, a broadcasting team from Colombia. I believe one is called Milo, the other one's Sarah. They have a one-night stand, and then a year later they meet Charlie, who's the new hotshot, and so it becomes like a three-way kind of weird relationship thing going on. And it's Milo who, when they're reporting a story, they go into a house because they're looking for the disappearance, to trying to get their, build their reporter skills up. They report this house where they find tapes, and they wonder why this family disappears, especially a guy named Dan. The guy mysteriously disappeared, Dan, and Dan disappears, of course. And Milo picks up the tape and finds out that as he's studying the tapes, he notices there's a guy in there, a guy with no face, and so that begins the whole horror film. And that basically it goes down from there. They're each marked by this creature, and the only way they can see him is through the cameras. And basically the film ends like anything else. It's always somewhere in the basement that they find some mysterious tapes. I'm not too happy with the ending of the film. I'm not hating it, but it was just not my cup of tea. The actress Sarah, who was in the film, also was in The Walking Dead. She played the love interest of I forgot his name. Anyhow, I'm winging that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna say this one was for me. I'm not hating on it, but the guy who plays Slenderman also worked in Hellboy. He's a contortionist. I forgot his name. Douglas Jones, I believe, famous actor. He worked in Hellboy. He's done a lot of other movies. He's more of a contortionist, so he wears these costumes. I liked him pretty much in Slenderman. Everyone else, But yeah. Oh, and Marty the dog's in this film. So there's a dog named Marty who, sadly, I can't give too much away, but that was unfair to this poor dog. So for my overall rating for this film, if you weren't going to watch it, I would say, for me, in my opinion, no. That's a skip for me. All right.
Are we getting this right now?
Listen, I gotta go back to work, but we'll celebrate when you get home.
Yeah, no, we'll celebrate when we get home. Absolutely.
I love you.
I love you more. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, guys, it's Friday night. I am watching another found footage horror. You might be hearing in the background, but it's basically called Followed with an ED at the end. And it's basically, the story revolves around I don't know if you know the Los Angeles famous hotel. I think it's called the Lenox Hotel, where a lot of famous hauntings happen. And if you know some of the serial killers, the Night Stalker, where he stood there a couple of days, and also the recent death of a young Tumblr blogger, forgot her name, where she had played with the elevator, and it's all over the internet that they think she saw ghosts. Well, this is based on it, and so far it looks good. I'll give you my full review after I'm finished watching it. All right. Okay, guys, so I'm watching another found footage horror. It's called Stay. So far it looks interesting. It's the first few minutes are, I guess, building up the character. I think it's more based on a model. So she's a model who was a big influencer, and she lives in New York City. And I like it because it shows a lot of New York City, where I'm from, of course. But in the meantime, I am, since I made this channel, try to make it about things I like to do besides watching found footage and other horrors. I'm also showing you treats I like to make, or desserts or sweets. So right now, what you see is blueberries. They're frozen, of course. I'm trying to unfreeze them, and I'm going to put them in yogurt. So you'll be watching that. That'll be my dessert while I'm watching this movie. Oops, I dropped a blueberry on the floor. Yuck. Yeah. Gonna have to pick it up before my little pet chihuahua eats it. And I'll throw it away. Or maybe I'll eat it. I don't know. Alright guys, so now it's kind of crazy. I know it's kind of blown out and everything. But right now this is the best I can do. I'm trying to get this focus. But I want a nice spooky review. I think this is more cooler. Plus my wife's paintings in the background, so it gives it this, I don't know, artsy look. I'm not trying to be pretentious. I'm just saying, whatever. Point being, I hope this is focused. Alright, trying this again. Hopefully I'm in focus. Hopefully. I think you guys can see my eyes. I know it's a little blown out, but that's what I got. Alright. Yes. Huh? The camera.
Of Gabby Petito.
My name is Tim Seal Carlin, and I was incident command for the Gabby Petito search. We had rain and snow and strong winds throughout that.
All right, guys, this is what I got. My wife made the most best pancakes. I got turkey bacon, and I'm turning the plate making that noise, but look what I got on there. Look at that. Look at those peaches. I'm a lucky guy.
Oh! You heard it?
All right, can you see me now? Nice and relaxed here? Okay, maybe you can't. We'll see. All right, guys, so let's come to talk about 2 more movies today. It is Saturday, March 1st. Let's talk about the last 2 movies I just saw. One called Follow and one called Stay. Let's talk about it. Okay, guys, can you see me now? This is a weird, I'm using the stick here to keep me in autofocus. Many low budget techniques on an old DSLR camera. This should work. Alright, guys. Whew. Alright, guys, so I'm back. Want to review 2 more movies I just recently saw. Let's talk about them. One's going to be called Follow with an ED, like I said earlier. And this one I mentioned earlier, so I want to give an overall review of this one. I believe this one had a little bit of information that I actually liked. It's a supernatural horror film, so I'm just reading off my notes, by the way. It was made in 2018, and it has a lot of like higher stars here. Like it was a higher production. Like it's found footage, but at a higher cost. It seemed more professional, and it was produced by V-Scape Arts with association with Branded Picture Entertainment. So these are like found footages with higher end, I could say, more money to make this movie. So this one's more of an interesting because it's a series of blogs, and this one, how it is, it's a series of blogs about a guy named Mike. And Mike has a little backtail. So basically he's in a hotel, and it's been his dream he goes on the internet, and goes to different haunting places, and that's how he makes his money. He's a YouTube star kind of in that world. And so with that, it's pretty much not too hard to see where it's going. Let me just give you a little more interesting facts about it. It was filmed in 12 days on a 144-page script. So found footage films could be less than that, but I found that interesting. And it's called The Hotel Lennox. So it's based on that one again. So if you know The Hotel Lennox, it has some hauntings. So going back to the movie overall, let's talk about it. Mike's one of the characters. He has a best friend, a young man who's in love with his other friend, childhood friend, who's she's the audio engineer, and they have a video editor, another girl. So they all go to the hotel, and they're going to do it for 3 days, and he's trying to get sponsors. He makes over 50,000 followers. Fortunately, as the day goes by, a lot of weird things are happening in the hotel. Typical, hotel. And guess what? All the weirdest things are happening in the basement of the hotel. Themes in found footage horror seem to be basements. Maybe you disagree or agree. Do you agree? Who knows? So let's talk about that. So the overall, they used a lot of CGI kind of I think they used CGI more than anything. I think, they tried it. I think I liked the film in that way. But then there was a plot twist. So his best friend has a fear of cats. The other one's a film editor who just has a breakdown. And the other young girl, well, she's leaving too. She has a weird thing that a stranger's following her. But Mike suffers the most because the other three get out as the hauntings begin in the house. And as you watch this film and they progress, he stays in because he wants to finish the film. And he wants not to disappoint his wife. He has a baby on the way and he needs the money. He doesn't, she's the breadwinner. And she just calls him in desperation, leave the Hotel Lennox before something bad happens. Unfortunately, he goes in the basement, and that's when things go all hell loose, even worse. See, there's a story also in it that Mike is adopted. And Mike has a little folklore in that hotel, too. I don't want to give too much away, but that was a good part of the movie. I give that a 200 thumbs. If I had 200 thumbs, I give that I love that part. That was a great plot twist. I like the movie overall. It's not my favorite found footage, but good story-wise. So that is it. That's it for Follow. Let's talk about the other movie I saw last night. I'm going to be honest, I watched as much as I could, but I fell halfway through asleep. It's not bad, I was just tired. The other one's called Stay. Now, Stay is... Sorry, I just want to see if I can show you. It'll probably pop up here. You'll see the cover to it. Stay is about a model, like I told you earlier, a model who's in New York and has a boyfriend from, I don't know, he's another country, but she's trying to make her way in New York, and she also has like a YouTube following also. So there's another found footage, but it's more using her phone in this style and motion detector cameras at night. So this is a different way of found footage. Basically, there's a backstory to it. Is that the apartment they rent is kind of haunted because it has a model from the found footage tape that who's an evil spirit. And so this is, it kind of catches this character, her, the main character, and possesses her. And so it ends that way. Typical movie where possession happens. And that Stay, I'm talking less about it. I'm not talking too long about it, but it wasn't a movie for me, and maybe I'm not giving it a fair chance. Maybe I did, but I did like the beginning when she was talking about New York and filming it. But as the progression got, it kind of just pulled out, and you can see there was... Well, I give it this point. There was no basements in this one, which was good. It was, which was good. I think, but there was more of a found footage, and she found the VHS tape, and there was some weirdness going on, and this character possessor, and it's a weird ending. I'll tell you, Stay wasn't the greatest, but I watched it. So I'm not going to put it down. It's a low budget, but it was, I think the character, the female character, I forgot her name, main character, she made it go along. I watched it because of the way her acting was, and the boyfriend at the time. They were both great characters in the film. They did a great job. So that is it. That is it for me for talking about found footage. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.